Hello everyone and welcome back to the NASCAR Heat 5 Clint Bowyer season mode. We're coming off 2 consecutive wins after the tape miracle. 50% tape that worked out into us scoring a victory above 2 Team Penske cars at Homestead. So currently, we set pretty far above second in points right now. As you see there, Martin Truex Jr. currently sets second in points. Below me, I have 281 points to his 230. So I've put a pretty big margin above the rest of the field with scoring consistent stage points, stage wins, already 2 wins on the year, entering race number 7. And as we all know, we had some ridiculous winners. So far, we have not gotten back to very many ridiculous winners, but that's because I've been winning. I've been more or less keeping the stupids out of victory lane. Ryan Newman's been really performing good these last couple weeks, so we might be able to expect possibly a win out of him at Texas, because unless I can pull off another tape miracle at Texas, I really do not expect to do very good there. Even though I've won the last 2 mile-and-a-halves, this one's way different in this game. The AIs can wrap the bottom ridiculously. You thought it was bad at Homestead. It's way worse when you get out of turn 2 at Texas. So let's get on with it and get it straight into the disaster. By the way, if nobody actually believes me about how this camera is setting on my copy of NASCAR Heat Evolution, let me just show you. Do you believe me now? Because that's absolutely that. I really hope that they can get something figured out for these NASCAR Heat games. Well, obviously, you know, they're not going to be called Heat anymore, but will that really help them? You know, for all I know, it's just going to be a name change. Sure, they'll change the engine, but it could either be worse or the same. Like, sure, it could be better, but it could still be worse or the exact same game again. No Limits, Texas. So I'm running some practice laps here because I'm curious about how far I really can push the tape here. Because you know my rule, don't get the thing up to 250 or else you'll start to lose power. But I was at 50% tape in the last race at Homestead, and the highest oil temperature I got was 234. So let's just see, if I run around for a little bit, how high it's going to get at Texas. There's a little bit less off-throttle time, which kind of hurts the cooling. Obviously, there's off-throttle time in 1 and 2, but to keep up with the AIs, you kind of have to get on the throttle earlier than you logically should. See, look, with default tape, I'm already running at 233. Seams. I swear, every single time, you know, you're going to hit a seam, and the game's going to all of a sudden say, I don't know physics. Screw that. And, you know, I guess it would make sense, but you don't lose traction how you do over a seam. I'm really only calling them seams because I don't know what else to call them. Because when the car just snaps loose in random locations and you can't see a seam there, it's like the random caution that NASCAR can't find the reason for. It's the phantom beer can. It's something that is a clear and present danger, but it truly is invisible. It's like getting sucker punched by a ghost. It's really disappointing how at like 95% of the tracks in NASCAR Heat 5, I can't get within like half a second of the goal. You see, my best is a 29.8. The goal is a 28.9. I mean, if some of the numbers got swapped around, I'd be doing pretty good. But I'm about 9/10 off, so that's not good news for me. So the default tape amount... the default tape amount is 30%. So I put it up to 45% just to see what I can kind of get away with and what I can work with in front-end downforce. Because, strangely enough, coming off Homestead, I really think that front-end downforce might be the key to succeeding in this game. Well, that was my best lap, down to a 29.80. Still about 9/10 off of what I should be running. But that was probably the best feel in turns 1 and 2 I've ever had in this game. I don't know why, but I never really screwed around with tape before. I always tried air pressure, you know, stagger to really make the car turn. But I never thought I could get away with this much tape. You know, there, bam, that was my fastest lap. But we're up to 246. Again, you know, if you get up into 250, you start to lose power. So I wouldn't recommend really pushing the tape any higher beyond this. More or less, I'm just going to be running until I can tell where, you know, the tape kind of falls off. More or less, I'm just going to be running until I can tell where the oil temperature plateaus. I'm hoping that it doesn't exceed, you know, like 248. Still, I'd probably run 40%, because this is 45% grill tape, and I'm running a little hot. Because, you know, as the tires are wearing, you know, that's going to bring your lap times down, but it's also going to bring more off-throttle time into play. So you're going to get more opportunities to cool the engine over the course of a lap. Can't believe I'm getting technical with NASCAR heat. I didn't think it could happen. Hey, look, a car blew up in practice. I've never seen that happen. See, somebody heard about my grill tape advantage last week at Homestead. And I think that might have been Bobby Carter, to be honest with you. Either that or Christopher Bell. I could tell it was a Toyota. But they heard about my advantage, tried to go for it, and wasted about $250,000 on a new engine because of it. So I guess we've figured out the method to tape. I know that Chris Gabehart still hasn't. And he probably has nightmares about it. This is the best driving I've ever had a car be at Texas. And I know I'm just in practice. But nevertheless. Alright, so we're getting into qualifying now. I am certainly going to be off the pace of the pole, because that was just about the goal lap in practice. And I was about 8 or 9 tenths off at best. So probably have like a mid-pack car, if I had to take a guess. At least when it comes to raw speed. Not liking how pushy it was right there. Alright, here we go into turn 1. Try to get the car to set. Really don't like the exit of turn 2. Because of how prone the car is to getting loose. Alright, down to the start-finish line. 29.783, 19th. Not bad. Blaney on pole. Daniel Suarez, top 10. Nice. Got the usuals on the bottom. Tyler Reddick in 32nd. This has not been a very good year for RCR. 2 of their subsidiary cars have won races. Austin Dillon retired. Starting 17th, 2 cars dropped to the back. And I think I should have faith in the custom setup. All right, so here are the top stories in Texas. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. is having a stellar weekend. That could mean he'll win. Christopher Bell crashed during qualifying, and Cole Custer needed an engine change. And he wasn't the car that blew the engine in practice. But hopefully going to get a good start here for the 14 car. Starting in 17th. At least I'm on the inside line. Kind of weird that 2 of the big 3 from the Xfinity Series in 2019 would have problems.
Stay low.
Only missing Reddick, but he qualified 32nd on his own.
Careful, still there.
BJ up in front of me, as usual.
Still there.
Bowman really wanting to push right here in turn 3. Get down onto the bottom.
Still there.
Hopefully use up some people. Brad really getting a run on the top. See, that's what I like about the grill tape, is this thing can point
Got one down.
mid-corner and just go. I'm a little bit worried about being in the outside line here. But at least some people are taking the top. That's going to slow the bleeding a little, I think.
Hold your line. Got one inside.
Ooh. Okay, Brad.
You got room.
I don't know how all of us kept it together there. Well, Bill Byron might not.
All right, you're clear.
Ooh. Yep, he did.
Car high. Careful.
That's going to be legendary. That's about as good of a save as he pulled on Timmy Hill.
Careful. Still there.
So yeah, I don't think that we have the raw pace to run up front.
Stay on the bottom here. All right.
Because, you know, we qualified 19th. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. is passing us.
Car outside. Clear high. Clear high.
I gave Ricky a bump there, hoping it would do something.
Got one inside.
Kevin Harvick on the inside. Brad willing to push.
Careful. Still there. All right, you're clear.
Well, we cleared Kevin into turn
All right,
one.
careful.
Now he's going to shove me off the bottom.
Looking inside now.
It's looking like we might have stalled out
All
here.
clear. Got a car high now. All right, clear outside. Inside.
Pushing up the hill. Got Brad on my inside. BJ McLeod willing to push, though.
Got 20
Remember that they somehow got Hendrick support this year.
Careful, still there. Got a car low now.
Yeah, the car's just a little too tight. Might be able to take wedge out of it.
Towers called a caution.
And there's a caution. I'm going to take this opportunity. To pit. Because listen, I got 2 wins on the year. I can pretty much just say screw it
Coming
and
to the green.
decide to not win at Texas if I
Almost
want.
ready. Green's out. Let's go.
Because, you know, hopefully being on fresh tires, it might mean something. 16 laps remaining in the stage, 15 on fuel.
Careful, still there.
If we try to save gas, we might be able to get to the end. 4 wide at every single racetrack.
Free. Use it if
That
you
wasn't
need
my goal to start the year, but it sure looks like it now. Car's hitting the grass, throwing it up in the air. At least it doesn't look as bad as Matt Kenseth's car did.
it. Still there.
I tell you what,
All right.
turn 1, the AIs just want to chop the nose. And I'm not going to let it happen. Here we go, that's a run.
Still there.
Send it.
Clear all around.
Yep. I'm bump drafting off of corners. I tell you what, though, this thing, it handles good. Like, really good. Does not have very much speed,
Careful, still there.
but, you know, if this becomes like a tire conservation style race, we might be able to take advantage of the good handling.
Hold your line.
Okay, I shouldn't have jinxed it,
Clear
because the
high,
car just
clear
about spun out
high. You got
off
room.
turn
You're
4.
clear. Car on the outside now. Clear all around.
But either way, I'm more or less using this race as a test session for the playoff Texas race. It seems like the tracks that are considered easier, like the smooth 1.5 miles I suck at, and the ones that, you know, you need experience at, like Atlanta, I can actually run good at. Not really sure what's up with that. That might just be another defect found in NASCAR Heat 5. All right, top 20. Reddick willing to push. By the way, Reddick passed like 12 cars, which is pretty good. Here we go to the inside of Jones.
Still there. All clear.
Hoping that Eric's willing to push.
Got a car loaded.
And I pushed myself up off the bottom.
10 to go.
10 to go on the stage, 9 laps to go on gas.
Inside now.
As Eric Jones, Timmy Hills me off the bottom.
Inside. All right, you're clear. Careful, still there.
I'm trying to break free of Eric Jones's side draft.
Wave them guys off. Caution
Okay.
out.
Taking more wedge out. More or less just throwing crap at it. Drop down the left rear a little. See what happens. You know, make an adjustment every pit stop. We passed a car. Got around Byron. So that's good news.
Up into the green. Almost ready. Green's out.
All right, 6 laps remaining in stage 1.
Careful, still there.
I'm hoping to get a stage point. That's my goal. I want to pass 7 cars. I'll tell you what, the car really wants to corner now. I don't know if it'd be very good in the long run. Unfortunately, I don't have to deal with the long run right here. Ooh, boy.
Clear
It's
high.
sliding. But it's fast.
5 to go. You got it. Stay low. Stay low.
I'll tell you what, I'm a really aggressive crew chief. That's what I've learned this
Still
year.
there. Clear high, bud.
Okay, Brad.
Got one inside.
Yeah, so maybe the whole aggressive crew chief thing isn't helping me. We at least put a show on in Josh Balicki's pit stall. Give me some of that wedge back. Went a little bit too aggressive.
All right, you're coming to the green. Be ready here.
That's confusing. All right, so we DNF'd to Texas. Not really sure how to take that, but I'm going to blame that on a pit road glitch because the AI car spun me straight into the pit road wall, which caused a DNF, and that was not part of my control. So, good effort on NASCAR Heat for allowing that to happen. Well, sorry for such a short episode, and also couldn't even get a thumbnail out of it because they screw you out of a replay in this. But I wonder who won, because I think I was too frustrated to check. And why, when you get a DNF, does it just list, you know, dashes? That doesn't make any sense. You kidding me? I'm still on top? Alright, so it's really like I didn't even show up at Texas. But I'm still the point leader by about 20 points above Martin Truex Jr. Who won? Eric Almirola. I can't complain. I mean, sure, I finished dash, but if Eric Almirola wins, I mean, again, that kind of works in my favor of the whole get stupid people to win races. But that really shows, you know, not just the luck of NASCAR, but the luck of playing NASCAR Heat. You go from 2 wins in a row to a glitch DNF. It really represents the quality in this game. So anyway, next race is the Bristol Day Race, the spring race, which is being replaced with a dirt race next year. If I don't win this, I'm going to be furious. Because I really excel at this racetrack in this game. So I will see you next time. Sorry for the short episode, but I cannot control the stupid glitches in this game. See you next time.